रहा है तारकों का दल गगन में गीत गाता, चल रहा आकाश भी है शून्य में भ्रमता भ्रमाता। पांव के नीचे पड़ी अचला नहीं यह चंचला है, एक कण भी एक क्षण भी एक थल पर टिक न पाता। शक्तियां गति की तुझे सब और से घेरे हुए है, स्थान से अपने तुझे टलना पड़ेगा ही मुसाफिर। सांस चलती है तुझे चलना पड़ेगा ही मुसाफिर, सांस चलती है तुझे चलना पड़ेगा ही मुसाफिर।
Che
Guevara's motorcycle diary attracted the attention of many. There were a lot of followers of him spread across various countries too. 15 years ago, a similar journey of motorcycles took place on these roads in Kashmir. And that was a journey made by a youth called Adhik Kadam, a resident of Pune at that time. What kind of a journey was it? What were the experiences he underwent? This is what we are going to comprehend during this program. Kashmir, a scenic white reality with blots of red blood marks blaring on this heavenly landscape. Being aroused out of curiosity toward this burning problem of Kashmir, a young 19 years old student of political science studying in Pune leaves behind his safe and secure life and straightaway lands in Kashmir. From 1998 to 2001, he wanders through the villages in Kashmir Valley with the sole objective of understanding it.
98-99 का तकरीबन वाक़ा है.
It was a time of 1998-99 approximately when I was coming from Lonar to this Verban when I saw two of these guys traveling on a bike. Those were the frightening days of bullets and terror. Although there was not much firing taking place in this region, what I saw about them was that they were constantly doing some survey while traveling on their bike and carrying out the interviews of various people everywhere.
और उधर किसी से इंटरव्यू लेते थे.
Adhik Kadam and his assistant Bharati were traveling through the most sensitive district called Kupwara for the purpose of their survey given to them by UNICEF. Several other activists like me were demanding anywhere between Rs 3 lakhs to Rs 3,50,000 for conducting a survey in the Kupwara district, whereas we carried it out only in Rs 11,000. Besides, we used that amount of 11,000 for filling petrol in our bikes only. In Kupwara district alone, they found more than 22,000 orphan children. Hundreds and thousands of stories of tragedies were connected with these children, further mystifying the scenic white beauty of this landscape, drenched in stunning bloodbath that would leave all human senses shaken and frozen. There was one such time that every single day, I mean it, every single day, throughout all the 4 or 5 months we might spend here, would be a witness of some gruesome happening or the other taking place here. Just assume, quite literally, that I have spent 2-3 months in succession weeping continuously here. Every such instance of crying would be followed by a session to willfully offer prayers. Such a contrasting series of tears and smiles, blended with hope and despair, went on providing strength to me to work here and look forward to stopping this menace one day. My mind had given me the verdict: stop here and strike your roots in this soil. Moreover, the condition of the orphan girls here was much worse. There were several instances such that both the father of a girl and 2 of his brothers were all militants. Both the uncles died during the skirmishes with the security forces, and father died due to the illness caused by the torture in the hands of the patrolling armed forces. As a result of this dreadful situation, their mother lost the balance of her mind and became insane. Nobody knows where their mother is located. As a result of this, the panchayat head of the village sent all of those 3 unfortunate sisters at our home. He made up his mind to do something for the orphan girls from this area. Although their objective was noble, the surrounding atmosphere was extremely unhelpful. Actually, we had gone to a few villages and were returning from there when 11 militants blocked our route. Bharati was accompanying me at that time. One of those militants harshly hit the butt of his AK-47 rifle right on my knee. It caused such a severe pain to me that I groaned and screamed then and there. It was then Bharati explained to them by saying, "Brothers, we are from Bombay and have arrived here for helping the women, orphans and widows." One of them came forward and inquired about our details. That was when Bharati identified herself, and even I told my name, since I had regained some strength in my voice to speak. It was then that the militant said to us that the work we were doing was a very noble task blessed from heaven, and that any Muslim who would kill us would not be a true disciple of Islam. This way, not just once or twice, but Adhik has had to confront terrorists in Kashmir no fewer than 19 times so far. And it is by passing through such trying circumstances and ordeals that he has come up with a divine piece of work that has truly glorified the values of mankind. Borderless World Foundation. How did the name Borderless arise? The incident that inspired this unique name, too, is one that compels the sensitive minds to experience the prevailing circumstances. Across the mountains here, there is a village called Pithol. When we visited that village, there were matrimonial rituals being performed. The actual wedding was taking place in a different village located beyond the Indian border, that is in Pakistan. But even then, the people from this village on the Indian side were busy in their enjoyments such that they had erected a tent and were doing everything that a wedding ceremony calls for. The only difference was that they were unable to visit that other village across the border. I found it really odd. I asked them, "If there is a wedding going on, where is the bride?" They replied, "The bride is located across the border in mountains." I asked them, "Then how is that you are conducting the rituals here?" They replied, "No, the bride is the daughter of our uncle residing there." I thought it was all really nice. A few days later, an 87-year-old senior citizen staying in that village located across the border in Pakistan died. A replica of that funeral procession held in that village was conducted in the village located on the Indian side, including the burial ceremony, because the deceased was an uncle of one of the Indian villagers. Both the communities of people in Pakistan as well as in India conducted prayers for the departed soul. This evidently shows that these people are united both in their moments of joy and grief. What have the partying countries achieved by setting up international borders is only defining the geographical boundaries between themselves, but they have miserably failed at dividing the minds of the people dwelling here. Both the governments have failed to create truly called bordering regions. It was in that unique village we discovered that the name of our organization can only be Borderless World Foundation.
आम्हाला तिथं त्या गावामध्ये आलं.
Under the auspices of this organization, there are rehabilitation hostels, the homes of joy, called Baserai Tabassum, in Kupwara, Anantnag, Bidgha and Badgaon districts for Muslim girls and Fa for Hindu girls in Jammu. The world surrounding each of us is full of instability, but the environment surrounding these innocent children is terribly grave. Amid this life full of adversity, these are the scarce few homes of joy that bring a few rare moments of happiness in the lives of these unfortunate children.
It's so easy to choose sides in Kashmir, and you can be a Muslim or a Hindu, but it's so hard to be a borderless.
Baserai Tabassum means a home of joy.
हमारे इस वक्त
At present, our Baserai Tabassum project is going on at Birwa. At this hostel, 40 girls have been accommodated. Besides, at our rehabilitation homes in Anantnag, there are 22 girls. 65 girls are offered shelter at our rehabilitation home in Kupwara, and even in Jammu, we are supporting 10 to 12 girls at our center. We are working for all of these girls.
सबके लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं.
Indeed, these are the living buds of flowers blossoming in the homes that offer softness and tender affection to these unfortunate girls. Their innocent smile was once wiped off by the surrounding environment.
My father was killed by the militants. Thereafter, my mother brought me here.
मेरे जो फादर है वो
My father has died. My mother is unable to earn sufficient money to help me acquire higher education.
ज़्यादा पढ़ा सकती है. पहले
My father had died and we were 4 children left with our mother. We were 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Even my younger sister is staying here with me.
This is Rubina. Her father was himself a militant. Later he surrendered before the Indian Army. Thereafter, a few months passed peacefully. But soon, some of the militants invaded their home and killed Rubina's father. The memories of that brutal act cannot ever be erased from the mind of her mother. But today, Rubina has recovered from that shock and has also become much more mature.
जब मैं इधर आई
When I arrived here, I was not aware how to survive in a life ahead. How the girls are looked after here and how can a girl lead her life in her society. The problem in a village is that there is no one except parents to answer this question. Moreover, how far can even the parents be of any use in this context if they are themselves not educated sufficiently? I couldn't even talk in Hindi language when I arrived here. It was here that I learned to speak in the Hindi language.
दीदी से हिंदी लैंग्वेज.
This caretaker elder sister, Didi, as she is called, is worth everything in their lives for these orphan girls staying here.
I deal with them as if I am their mother. I make them understand that this itself is their new home, now and not the one from where they have come. This is where they should look for the warmth of a home.
असल में यही आपका घर है.
Along with Salima Didi and Adhik, we are now headed for Halima's home. It was Borderless Foundation itself which shouldered the responsibility of getting Halima married subsequent to bringing her up at Baserai Tabassum. Today, she is a mother of a cute little daughter. What do you think of Baserai Tabassum?
बस घर ही समझ.
All I say about it is that I look upon it no less than my home only. I look upon it as both, as a home and as a home of my in-laws. But frankly speaking, it is more of a home only.
ज़्यादा मानो घर ही समझता हूँ.
In arranging for the marriage of Halima, one circle of a crucial responsibility has been completed now.
Borderless World
The
Foundation.
support these orphan girls received through the Borderless World Foundation founded by Adhik and his associates was not only a mere means of seeking shelter, but it also proved to be an avenue for imparting higher education to them. That is why a girl like Rubina could begin her education in this English medium school.
इंग्रजी माध्यमाच्या शाळेत शिकू लागले.
These girls are sent to the renowned schools located nearby. Not only that, but educational tours to other Indian cities like Mumbai or Pune are also organized for them. This helps to make their horizons more comprehensive.
I wish to become a doctor. I wish to become an engineer. After growing up, I have realized that I must achieve something spectacular before going back home now.
This organization has made available the facilities for the higher education of 3 girls from here in Pune. Adhik has received very big support and assistance from several of his friends like Tanveer in this village.
देखिए हमारी
We
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन
have the ideas of variety of projects in our mind on behalf of this organization. we are facing the need of manpower and funds to implement all of these projects. There is a dearth of better ideas too. There is such a huge potential to carry out the social work in Kashmir today, such that our organization is capable of undertaking any work.
आप में ले सकते हैं, आराम से कर सकते हैं.
There was one such time in the distant past that people used to say about Adhik.
एक मामूली काम
At
नहीं
first,
है.
I thought this work deserves to be ignored. But now I consider a boy arriving from Pune reliable enough to pioneer a work that can result into any kind of tangible achievement. That is why I judged him for a long period of 6 months first.
मैंने 6 महीने तक जांचा परखा.
And now the times have changed. Today, the words being pronounced about Adhik are,
कश्मीर अधिक
Kashmir will not be able to endure the loss of Adhik. Just assume that circumstances force Adhik to quit from here. Then it will be no less than a death of our organization.
उससे बड़ी कोई मौत नहीं होगी.
Only when you comprehend the earnestness behind these words, you will truly start believing in the concept of borderless world, and that is what must happen essentially, because it is not just Kashmir that is endowed with a border. Let me tell you something about these girls. I deem all these girls as my mothers. An infant female child aged hardly 18 months old, left in my laps, too, is my mother.
लाके छोड़ के गए ना, वो भी मेरी माँ है.
These are the relationships that have truly blossomed out of pure love, through the seamless affection that binds them together forever.
It is Adhik only who is father and mother as well as a brother and sister. Rather, he is everything for us in our life. I am sad to observe that there is no such boy like him in our entire state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Terrorism does not have any religion to abide by, nor any color to claim allegiance to. But there are several families in Kashmir living the life of destitution after being the victims of terrorism. Scores of Hindu Pandits have suffered the trauma of being displaced from their own state, and their children have become orphans today. Similar to the Basirai Tabassum, the Borderless World Foundation has set up a home of joy called FA in Jammu, meant for the Hindu girls.
जो बच्चे हैं वो
We have rendered all the facilities for these children, such as their accommodation, their schooling, studies, clothes, so that we want them to stand on their own legs in their future life.
in their future life.
Everything put together, the expenses being incurred on all of these girls run into a few lakhs every month. The active contribution being made by the friends of Adhik for making provisions of the funds required to meet these expenses is equally significant.
आमचे सगळे जे ग्राउंडवर आमचे मित्र होते